Africa, you see. Africa, you know. Africa, you understand. Africa, you celebrate. On Kaakaki, the African voice.
Thank you for staying with us. We told you earlier that our first interview will be on the communication service tax. The conversation there varies though, but we will be finding from our guest points of view across board. And we have joining us our first guest, but we were supposed to take a guest from Lagos. We'll further wait for that to happen. But in the meantime, we'll begin with our first interview and our first guest. Well, the communications, Deboye has confirmed that communications service tax is in the offing and might be something that they might be working on. The minister, who was speaking on our sister station, Ray Power FM Wednesday, asked a lot of people to be able to understand what the tax meant and if people were in lieu and in view of it. Nigerians, whether they're brave enough to actually accept it, should it come into effect before now or is already too late? Or is this something that we need to actually look at before implementing? Well, the National Assembly has based a lot of their first impressions. It has passed first reading and is waiting second reading.
Well, if passed into law, it would empower the government to charge 9% tax of telephone calls, text messages and data packages, and estimates that this will bring about 20 billion naira monthly. And to the minister said this will cushion the effects of the economic challenges in the country.
Critics are, however, saying that government should instead focus more on judicious use of revenue derived from the value added tax, which is VAT. Pay as you earn, pay, stamp duties, vehicle licenses, passport fees, custom duty, petroleum tax, to mention a few.
Critics have also added that the government should set up a machinery to ensure that those currently evading taxes are brought to book.
Well, taking up argument for and against the communication service tax, we have joining us for this discussion a member of the House of Representatives, Honorable Johnson Agbonayinma. He's here with us in the studio.
We must also tell you that we had somebody, welcome, good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
We must also tell you we're supposed to have somebody join us from our Lagos Center. That's the President of National Association of Telecommunication Subscribers, Chief Adeola Ogunbanjo. We'll hope he joins us before we round off this discussion. But we start off with you, Honorable Member. What is your stance on this task? Are you for or against?
Well, if you ask me, I would say I have not seen that bill, that, to read the bills, to be able to assess, just debating it at the floor of the House. Don't forget, I represent the constituency. I will do the needful to reach out to them, which I have done, calling some of the leaders, getting their thoughts, what they think about it, because I represent the constituency. I want to carry them along. But however, my position is very simple. It is the responsibility of every citizen to pay, taxes as when due. And also it is the responsibility of the government to do the needful. The reason why people are afraid of paying taxes because the government have not been responsible, they have not been accountable, misplacement of priority, abuse of the economy, where we have gotten ourselves today. In every leading nation all over the world, at least you must pay taxes. It's a must, and that is why I haven't said this. I haven't lived in America for almost 27 years. If you don't pay taxes, guess what? The prisons are built not for cow, not for sheep, not for goat. They are built for human beings. You'll be charged. A lot of people have gone to jail. Billionaires have gone to jail. Even smaller people that have been evading, all those tax evasion is a crime. So it is because the government have not been responsible. That is why today people begin to wonder and talk about, I don't want to pay taxes, I don't want to do this. Listen to me, it costs money to build roads, to construct a good health system, educational system, federal roads. All this money, accrued in such a way that the government, who should be the one to do the needful, using the money that is brought in through taxes, to do the right thing.
All right. Honorable, still talking about the right thing to do. You've spoken about the the need for those taxes to be paid. We're looking at, focusing on communication service tax now. Already we know Nigerians pay 26 different types of taxes already. And, the argument is that rather than impose this tax, you need to expand the tax rotation. Not everybody uses internet. Not everybody uses the cell phone, data. And the question here is it not something to really consider, looking at the sinking economy and an already impoverished state of affairs for Nigerians?
Let me put it this way. We'll be talking about diversification in both in the agricultural sector, talking about economic, that's the communication now, which is a different sector. Now, first of all, if you are making phone call, people spend money to do things, to chat, just for their own convenience. But this is the time, you have to give back to your country. I've often said that, like our late former president of the United States, he said, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can individually, collectively, can do for your country. But you must contribute your own little quarter to the development of this nation. If you want to say, look, government, you are not working, you are not doing anything, when you pay tax, it is a pride for you to feel that, look, you are part of the government. This is because of the government failure. The failure over the years. That's why people are crying, oh, we don't want to pay tax. There's nothing wrong. If you buy, a recharge card of 10, maybe just 10,000 naira, even 1,000 naira, is there anything wrong to pay just 9%? Is there anything wrong to solve the problem of our great country?
You are talking ideally in ideal situations, but we know we are not in ideal situations right now. I'm sure you are in close contact with your constituents and you see the material conditions which they are living in. You're also privy to the fact that over 18 to 22 states right now can't pay salaries. The report we had in the papers this morning says Bauchi State is more or less in a turmoil because workers have shut down the states. Are these the same people you are expecting to pay what they are not even earning?
Listen to me, if you cannot afford to have a telephone, if you are just buying the phone and now you want to have, line, you see some people have 2, 3 telephone lines, and if you can afford to buy 1,000 naira, and you cannot afford just to give 9% of that 1,000 naira to the development of your own place, your community. You are looking for good health care.
No, I'm talking about the material condition. I understand the context which you are talking about, but most Nigerians you see, which if you go to the street seller who sells recharge card, they don't buy 1,000 recharge cards. Most of them buy 200 naira recharge cards. Just something to be able to buy calls. I'm telling you,
200 naira recharge
the kind of people
there's 9% attached to it. There's nothing wrong. Listen to me, my dear. It is only if the government are doing what they ought to do, you will not be speaking like this.
Yes, the government doing what is supposed to do.
Because government have failed. Because the people does not trust the government. That is why people are now, they don't care about paying taxes. People have been paying taxes even before I was born. Even when I was in the village, born in the village, I remember the people used to come and collect taxes from our parents. So paying taxes is the responsibility of good citizens. Let me tell you something. I am telling you, a lot of people have gone to jail for refusing tax evasion. But let me tell you another issue here. I live in America, I pay taxes as when you deducted as source. But guess what? There's what we call tax return every year. After you have paid your taxes, and the government, they pay you back, called tax return. So government uses the money you have paid over the years. At the end of the day, they look for a way to give you something back. So there's a reward for hard work. There's no food for lazy man. Nigerians, we must rise up. Let's give the benefit of doubt to the government of the day, because if this country, if anything happens, guess what? It will consume all of us.
Honorable, sorry to interject here. Nigerians would already be, wriggling in their seats listening to you, because they will say, it seems that as if the government will bring in one, issue after the other. They have continued to be perseverant and patient with some of the new order, waiting for this, mantra of change and the new world for Nigeria to begin to emerge. Nigerians already pay service value-added tax on telecommunication services, and now you're adding another 9% to the already 5% they're already paying on telecommunication services. Isn't that double taxation? That's one. Secondly, the Minister of Communication is saying that Nigeria by 2018 should increase broadband and telecommunications usage by 30%. We're just 10% as it seems. Now, by the time you add this taxation, are you not going to discourage rather than encourage Nigerians to help to grow that part of the communication service, which adds 1.35% GDP? You take that away from them and you have less subscribers, less people using the internet, less people using the telephone. Isn't it foolhardy to bring it on when there's already value-added tax on telecommunication services already? Isn't it double taxation?
I agree with you to an extent. Let me tell you this. There's always a loopholes. There have always been. And as a member, House Committee on Telecommunication, I have seen a lot. And you see, not too long ago, one of the service providers, we have to, charge them because of, not following the rule of law and rule of, in terms of, fine. So they were fined billions and trillions of naira, which of course negotiated. At the end of the day, they have to pay less than what was given to them before. Why was this? Because of shortcuts. At the end of the day, you want to look at it, maybe you are trying to bring another burden on Nigerians. But I am looking at it from a different perspective. I'm looking at it from somebody that cares. That look, where we have found ourselves, do we want to live here? Do we want to keep on complaining? We have to get outside the box to have a thinking cap and to see how do we resolve this problem. I'm telling you the truth. Our viewers, I'm this world for our great nation. What is important is that paying taxes is important. At this time, what do we do? The economy, people have misplaced, they have abused, they have misused our economy. Nothing is working.
So Nigerians should pay for it, is that what you're saying?
Now, who is to pay for it? Do you want America to come and pay for it? Do you want Ghana to come and pay for it to solve the problem of our nation?
Let me ask you this as a Nigerian first, before a member of the committee. Do you not think that this is coming at the wrong time? Where is the buffering system?
Well, tell me the right time. Right now, we have a difficult situation. How do we get out of it? How do we get out of it? Now, if you don't want to pay the 9% tax, hey, you don't have to buy a recharge card. It's very simple. But if you want to, at least to use the network, it costs money to do it. You want to live on a high profile. There was a time in this country we didn't have, this mobile phone and a cell phone, GSM and all that. Even to have a landline then, difficult. People were still, it costs money to live above.
But there's already 5% telecommunication charge.
Are you trying to say that people making calls, simple making calls, is living above their means? Is that what you're saying?
I said there was a time in this country we didn't have telecommunication like what we have now, GSM. People in the village can make calls.
So we have that now. So is that living beyond
it costs a lot of money. It's a serious burden.
You are a lawmaker.
We have to chip in our own little, bit. So we don't leave everything.
Okay. A lot of people will feel. Beg your pardon. A lot of people will feel you're talking comfortably like this because you are among a few political elites in this country that live quite above several others' means. There's been a lot of criticism about the salaries and allowances of lawmakers in the federal legislature and at the state level as well. And I'm not sure. I've seen a lot of items spelled down among your allowances. I don't know if recharge cards is one of them, but I know that newspapers and the rest of them used to be part of that. So essentially, people would expect that people see you and would think you are living off the luxury of life.
Let me tell you something. I'm part of India. I owned cable TV for many years, but I'm gonna tell you that we are the main problem of this great country. We are not putting the message the way it should be. Rather, we want to create enemy between the people and the government and the government and the people. Let's look at it holistically. What is important is that it costs money for you to live comfortably, to have good roads, to have good health system, to have good educational system, to have the amenities. Even today we are still talking about borehole. Those days we used to have tap water running because the government has failed. If the people trust the government, they are willing to pay, to chip in, to contribute their little quarter to the development of our dear nation. Are you expecting every time we are looking for a handout, I was listening to one of the governors from the northern state, crying that America should come and help us. Guess what? They have their own problem. These are people, taxpayers' money that they are using to come and help Nigeria. Who is paying the taxes in America? Who is paying the taxes in Europe?
That is a producing economy.
Don't discourage Nigeria. Let Nigerians speak for themselves.
Nobody is discouraging Nigerians.
Yeah, that's what you are doing.
Nobody is discouraging Nigerians. I'm sure, I don't know if you are in touch with your country.
Very, very well. And my people are
your constituents are happy about the tax.
I represent a federal constituency.
They say they want to pay the tax.
Hello, let me tell you, they will be willing to contribute their own quota to develop our dear nation. If the government are ready and willing to do the needful, to adhere to the three principal tenets of democratic doctrine, loyalty, commitment, and participation, to make this country a better place, what can you do? How do you want us to move this country forward? Where we are now, the oil doom, we have a situation when the economy was good, people took the money, went to voicemail in their private account. They are afraid, even though they are willing, if they are even willing to pay 10-15% with this money, this tax, the taxes go to the right source. Will it be used for what is meant for? That is their complaint. That is their anger. They are not afraid of paying taxes because I want good health system in my community. I want good road in my community. Then, if I'm not paying taxes, how do you want all these things to be done? Are we depending on oil? Oil is no longer there. When we had the opportunity, guess what?
Absolutely. Your point taken. But look at it from the context of what government is also supposed to provide for the people: welfare and security of lives and property.
Because
a lot of people looking at it will say, in the context of welfare,
yes,
the government has failed. A lot of people would say that right now because of the economic conditions we are facing at the moment. At the same time, you look at people in the higher rung of the ladder and people in the lower rung of the ladder. How many people at this time that we are can be able to, feed their families? That's what
Nigerians I agree with you.
Just a minute. Let me tell you. Just a minute, sir. Just a minute. Shouldn't we prioritize, as much as taxing Nigerian people, government raising revenue is important? Shouldn't you think, as a representative of the people, prioritizing where we should improve our taxation is what should be more important? I mean, look at major cities like Abuja, Lagos, even Asoko, which you just drove through. Out of most of the properties you see, big, huge properties, mansions you see,
I don't own anyone there.
No, I'm not saying you do. But how much taxes are the owners of those properties paying? Shouldn't that be the priority? That's the point. Shouldn't that be the priority of government, rather than look at people who are already in an impoverished state and you're asking them to pay more because they're making calls?
God bless you for this. I moved a motion some time ago about even, talking about property owners.